John Hansen in the gym training for FloridaPhysique.com at the Powerhouse Gym in Downtown Tampa. And today we are joined by two figure competitors. We have Devon Manny, who is training for the NPC Nationals in only a couple weeks. And we have Tara Ramos, who is training for her very first pro show. Welcome, Devon.
Thank you.
All right, Devon, so you had quite a big year. You did the Beach Bodies Classic and you took first place there, and then you took first place at the Dexter Jackson, and then you went into your first national level show, which was the North America, and you took a very strong third place. So now we've got the NPC Nationals coming up. What's your training been like to get ready for that show?
Well, coming off of the North Americans, we decided that I needed to gain some more size in my legs, a little more size everywhere, but mostly focus in hamstrings and glute area. And so training since then has been really heavy, a lot more intense than what I'm used to, just to really focus on gaining size.
Okay. Now I saw in the workout you and Tara did at the Powerhouse Gym, you guys were supersetting a lot of stuff. You were doing back today, and you started off with barbell rows, and you did first the underhand grip, and then right away immediately you switched over to the overhand grip. Is this something you've been typically doing now in your training?
Yeah, recently, just to work all areas of the back, the underhand and the overhand both hit different spots. Supersetting them together just really pumps up all areas. Okay.
Is the barbell row an exercise that you normally do, even in the off season?
Well, I actually haven't had a true off season yet, but
yeah, that's true.
I have been ever since I have been training, I usually incorporate a barbell row.
Okay. And which do you like better, the underhand grip or the overhand grip?
I personally like the underhand grip more, just because I really extend my lats all the way and really get a good pull and stretch in my outer lats, and that helps to bring the lats out from your front pose as well.
Yeah.
But I like to focus on that too, because I have felt I kind of lack in that as well.
Okay. So do you think you needed to bring up your back development more, getting ready for the NPC Nationals?
A little bit, yeah. I think I had good size and good shape and width, but just a little bit bigger.
After you guys did the barbell rows, you went over and did pull downs. And same thing here. You did pull downs to the front, and then you switched positions, and then you were doing pull downs to the back. And I'm assuming the pull downs is more for lat width, right?
Yep, it is. And we try to focus keeping our elbows tucked in when you pull down, because that really extends the lats as far as you can, and helps build them up from the front. And as far as the turning around and doing it backwards as well, that it builds up that really hard to reach kind of the lower trap muscle right in the center of the back.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of uncomfortable. I didn't really like them at first, but now that I've gotten used to them, I like hitting that spot, because it's really hard to get that center right underneath the trap muscle built up.
Yeah. Now Eric had you guys supersetting everything today. Every exercise you did, you had two exercises that were sort of similar, like the rows, underhand grip, overhand grip, and then the pull downs to the front and to the back. Is this something you guys just did for today's video shoot, or do you normally do this all the time?
I actually recently, probably in the last month, especially in the last couple weeks, have been focusing on supersetting most of my workouts, doing 6 exercises and supersetting them to make 3 combined exercises.
Oh, really?
And just to really kind of speeds the workout up, keeps you at a fast pace, watching your rest times to keep your blood flow as high as possible, and keep your pump up. And then it just, with the diet being getting into the extreme right now, it's like you can't spend 2 hours on a workout when you haven't had carbs since m or Yeah,
I was going to ask you if this is something you're doing because you're dieting now.
I think it definitely has a lot to do with the dieting, trying to just get through it and use all your energy as effectively as possible.
Yeah. Now the third exercise you guys did was the dumbbell pullovers, where you're laying crossways on the bench, and you supersetted that with the straight arm pull downs on the lat machine. And I liked how you guys did the pullovers, because it's sort of like old school. It's the way that Arnold and those guys used to do, you know. And now this is obviously both for the lats too, and I like the way the workout was set up, because you did sort of a thickness exercise first, and then you did a width exercise, and now these two exercises here are sort of stretching the lats a little bit, right?
Right. Yeah, I just started doing the dumbbell pullovers where you lay on the flat bench. That's new to me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of uncomfortable. It's hard to kind of start out with the right form. I would definitely suggest starting lower weight.
Yeah.
Just because it's really pulling a dumbbell over your head. You think it's not it's not that hard, but you're working the stability muscles that you're not used to using also. So it's really good for getting a really good stretch.
Yeah, and then you really need to go pretty low on that too, right, with the dumbbell in order to feel it in the lats? Yeah,
definitely. Just because it's easy to overcompensate using your tricep also, because it's kind of similar to like a skull crusher almost.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, doing lower weight so you can really focus on the lats.
Yeah, I see the mistake a lot of people do with, they start using heavier weights, and you're right, they bend the arms too much, and then they end up using the triceps too much.
Yep, that's been a big issue with me. I've always been the type to I can go as heavy as possible, and then the more you focus on that muscle-mind connection, you realize you don't have to use heavy weight at all. You can go pretty light, really.
Plus you're supersetting too, so that increases the intensity. So even if one exercise you're not going that heavy, you're supersetting with something else. So that right away increases the intensity of the workout, right?
Exactly.
And then with the pull downs, I've seen you do these before. It's just basically getting back far enough away from the machine so you can really feel the stretch again in the lats, right?
Yep, correct. And then really focusing on, keeping the right form, keeping your back straight, and again, not using the tricep very much. Just really focusing on the stability with your lat and bringing it down all the way and getting a good stretch when you come back up.
Right. And then you guys finished back off with seated cable rows, and you and Tara both were using really strict form on this. So again, it's more about just feeling the muscle and not so much the weight, correct?
Yeah, seated rows, I think that's one of my favorite, the cable rows, just because I like ending with it, because after all the supersets, you're pretty pumped and stiff, and ending with a cable row is really helpful in completely stretching out your muscle before you finish.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so we're only a couple weeks away from the NPC Nationals. How's your mindset going in after getting your feet wet, so to speak, at the North America a couple of months ago?
I feel great. I feel better than ever. I've really focused on improving in the areas that the judges gave me feedback on, which again has been always been my problem. My glute hamstring tie-in. I was looking back. I've never really had strong hamstrings at all, and I look back at the pictures from North Americans, and they were barely there. Like I had good shape, but just the conditioning of my hamstrings was just not where it should be. And now that I've focused, the last pretty much 10 to 12 weeks on really building them up, I feel really good about where I'm at now.
Okay, well, we'll be pulling for you here in the Florida area, Devon, and we'll be out there, FloridaPhysique.com. We'll be there covering the NPC Nationals. So we thank you for joining us in the gym, and we wish you the best at the NPC Nationals.
Thank you.
All right.